AMAD has revealed what Bruno Fernandes told him after Manchester United's 4-0 win over Everton earlier this month. The Ivorian has enjoyed a new lease of life under Ruben Amorim after struggling for game time under Erik ten Hag. AMAD has thrived so far under the Portuguese, having featured heavily in Amorim's 3-4-3 system. The 22-year-old has provided 4 assists so far under the former Sporting boss whilst playing as a right-sided midfielder. One moment some fans spotted earlier this month was a conversation he had with Fernandes on the pitch after United's comprehensive win over the Toffees. The winger-turned-midfielder has now revealed details about the conversation with the United captain. He told me some things to improve during games and asked me to be more focused towards the end of the game, because that's when you see the champions, AMAD told Sky Sport Italia. I am so happy to have Bruno as my teammate here. He speaks Italian, so we have a special bond. AMAD has also opened up on the position Amorim plays him in, whilst offering praise for the new United boss. He added, "We try to follow the coach's philosophy. He speaks to the players. He was a footballer himself, so he understands our feelings, and we are happy to have him," he added. "I always try to repay the coach's trust. We've been on good terms since he arrived. He's always tried to help me, especially because I am playing a new role. It's a position I already covered at Atalanta under Gasperini, but it was more towards the middle. This wing-back position is kind of new to me. I try to do it and the coach is helping me. I am enjoying every moment." Manchester United winger Antony has found an unlikely fan in the Romanian Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu after a bizarre compilation video was posted onto TikTok. In the video on Ciolacu's official TikTok account, the political leader is seen being shown a picture of Antony, and he correctly names the forward before cutting into a compilation video that highlights the forward's best bits at United. Most of the footage is restricted to his time in the United squad in his debut season, including the now infamous moment when he spun around on the spot under no pressure during the victory over Sheriff Tiraspol in the Europa League. The exact reason Ciolacu chose to post this video on his TikTok account is unclear. However, the 57-year-old has posted football-related content on the social media platform previously, mainly surrounding the Romanian national team. In November, Ciolacu told the media that politics had no place in sport after Kosovo chose to leave the field on 90+5 minutes during their clash with Romania in Bucharest, leading to the Nations League fixture being cancelled. Antony may well be grateful for the support from an unlikely source after a difficult run at Old Trafford. The Brazilian has dropped down the pecking order this campaign, despite promising the press in the summer that he would be back among the goals this season. Under Ruben Amorim, Antony has been moved into a left wing-back role, but he is currently behind the likes of AMAD and Tyrell Malacia in the squad. Ruben Amorim, Manchester United's newly appointed manager, has continued to shape his tactical vision a crucial phase of their Premier League fixture against Nottingham Forest, with key updates on player injuries and return dates, during a December 6th training session at Carrington. The Portuguese coach, known for his innovative approach, has begun implementing significant changes to boost the team's performance and adapt to their demanding winter schedule. Formation shift. Amorim emphasised his preferred 3-4-3 system, which he successfully used at Sporting Lisbon. This setup involves high pressing, swift ball movement, and a reliance on attacking wing-backs to maintain defensive balance while creating offensive opportunities. Luke Shaw is being prepared for a role as a left-sided centre-back. This change aims to leverage Shaw's defensive skills while minimising the physical toll of a full wing-back role Antony has been experimented with as a right wing-back. This positional switch could rejuvenate his form, allowing him to contribute defensively and exploit space on the flanks. During counter-attacks, player engagement. Amorim actively participated in the session, offering one-on-one guidance to key players like Kobbie Mainoo. This reflects his commitment to developing a cohesive team identity and ensuring every player understands their role. Intensity and focus. The training session was characterised by high energy, with players involved in rapid, competitive drills that mirror the fast-paced nature of Premier League games. Amorim's hands-on involvement reinforced his philosophy of hard work and tactical discipline. Amorim's proactive adjustments come as the club sits mid-table in the Premier League, aiming to bridge the gap to the top four. His innovative training approach and positional experiments are pivotal as United prepare for their next fixtures, including challenging encounters against top-tier rivals. The upcoming matches will test whether these training ground changes translate into improved performances on the pitch. This session has set the tone for an exciting new chapter under Amorim's leadership at Manchester United. Manchester United have many talented youngsters within the walls at Carrington, and there is hope that new head coach Ruben Amorim can help them develop into world-class stars. It will be a challenge to see who can take the necessary steps towards being a world-class player as United aim to reach the top of the game once again. They will be challenging against some elite talent from within the Premier League, and the latest defeat against Arsenal was a reminder of some of the class opponents possess. While their attacking was not exactly on point, Mikel Arteta's side were excellent defensively, and that was led by William Saliba. The French defender made it look easy when he was dealing with the likes of Rasmus Højlund or Alejandro Garnacho, and Rio Ferdinand believes he will become the best defender in the world. I think he's going to be the best defender in the world. Saliba will be the best defender in the world when Virgil van Dijk gives up that post, the former United centre-back said on his YouTube channel this week. As soon as it happens, it could be a year or it could be 3 years. Whatever it's going to be, I don't see anybody else taking over. Although Ferdinand did go against that point afterwards, as he suggested United defender Leny Yoro could be the only player to take that tag. Instead of Saliba, the only person who I think will rival him, and it's going to be close, is Leny Yoro, he added. Signing Yoro was a significant moment for United in the latest summer transfer window, as he looks certain to be moving to Real Madrid. The teenager is considered one of the best defensive talents in the world and is on United's books after being convinced of the move. Ferdinand was one of many he spoke to before putting pen to paper on a long-term deal. After suffering an injury in pre-season, he has finally returned to the team, coming on as a second-half substitute against Arsenal. He looked impressive despite the result. To be injured and come in, and it wasn't just coming in and doing quite well, continued Ferdinand as he touched on Yoro's performance. He got in 2 situations, 1 versus 1 on his own, edge of the box and on his own. Dealt with them both really well. It is a huge claim for the United legend to make, but there was a reason this transfer was celebrated and why the likes of Madrid wanted him in the first place. With his injury troubles now behind him, Yoro himself will want to start proving himself in the Premier League, like Saliba did several years ago. Hopefully he will be in those same conversations as his fellow countrymen in due course. Manchester United's hopes of luring Alphonso Davies away from Bayern Munich appear to have hit a significant roadblock. Reports suggest the Canadian international, long admired for his blistering pace and versatility, is now expected to extend his stay with the German Giants by signing a new contract. After months of speculation linking Davies with a potential move to the Premier League, insiders close to the situation reveal that Bayern Munich has made decisive progress in convincing the 23-year-old to commit his future to the club. This development follows the Bundesliga champions' efforts to rebuild trust and momentum after a challenging period that included a reshuffling of the managerial staff and concerns over squad cohesion. For United, who are seeking reinforcements at left-back due to injury woes and depth concerns, this news is a blow. Alphonso Davies was seen as an ideal candidate to bolster Erik ten Hag's squad, given his attacking flair and defensive reliability. However, Bayern's willingness to prioritise Davies as a cornerstone of their future has likely swayed the player's decision. Davies, who joined Bayern from Vancouver Whitecaps in 2018, has grown into one of the most celebrated fullbacks in football. Known for his electrifying runs and pinpoint crosses, he has been integral to Bayern's domestic and European successes, including their 2020 Champions League triumph. Manchester United, meanwhile, may need to turn their attention to alternative targets as the January transfer window approaches. With Tyrell Malacia sidelined and Luke Shaw also managing injuries, the urgency to secure reinforcements remains high. United's recruitment team will likely pivot to other left-back options. While keeping tabs on Davies should his situation at Bayern change in the future, this saga highlights the challenges top clubs face when competing for elite talent, especially against institutions like Bayern, known for retaining their stars. The story remains fluid, but for now, Alphonso Davies seems set to continue lighting up the Allianz Arena rather than donning the red of Manchester United. Manchester United suffered their first defeat of the Ruben Amorim era on Wednesday after losing 2-0 at Arsenal. The Reds' 7-game unbeaten run came to an end after second-half goals from Jurrien Timber and William Saliba. United have now dropped down to 11th in the Premier League table, ahead of their clash at home to Nottingham Forest on Saturday kick-off, 5:30 p.m. Amorim has been able to improve a struggling team, but but the Portuguese will need reinforcements in the transfer market if he is to succeed at Old Trafford. Amorim's first opportunity to strengthen his squad will come in January, and several players have already been linked with a move to M16, including Sporting striker Victor Gyökeres, Bayer Leverkusen forward Victor Boniface, and Juventus star Kenan Yildiz. January deals will be difficult for the Reds due to PSR constraints, but player sales could change what they can spend. United will also be planning for next summer and Amorim's first full season in charge. Football finance expert Dr. Rob Wilson believes United must qualify for the Champions League if they are to afford Victor Gyökeres. To afford Victor Gyökeres this summer, I believe that Manchester United have to earn Champions League qualification, he said via OLBG. The Champions League would give them some flexibility in the transfer market because the PSR headroom is almost non-existent now at Manchester United, and what you need to remember is club like that. If they're not playing in Champions League, they have to pay a bit more to get players in and pay them more in wages. It's kind of gone under the radar how well they executed a transfer strategy last summer because there were fees that were generated from sales, but the wage reductions were significant, and that therefore helps them with the PSR calculation on an ongoing basis. But I think they'd need to get into the top 4 to get Gyökeres. Ruben Amorim's history also shows that he likes to coach and develop players, so it might be a case of him striking with Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee and developing them rather than buying talent. That would be the most efficient way for the club to find success. Ruben Amorim will give Luke Shaw as long as he needs to return to fitness for Manchester United and England, after praising the work he had put in to get himself fit before his latest setback. Shaw had come off the bench for 3 successive games as he worked his way back from injuries, had kept him out for his club side since February. But he sustained a hamstring injury on the eve of United's trip to Arsenal and is now set for another period out. The 29-year-old has started only 1 game in 9 months, the Euro 2024 final, and has now sustained 3 different muscle injuries that have ruled him out of action in that period.